All right. So here comes a thrilling conclusion to the Who Owns the Zebra puzzle. So this is where we left off last time, and so we gotta add some things in here. All right. So what we want to do, I'm going to draw my houses down here, and I don't draw anything very well. So we got 5 houses. Okay. And what we know is the far left house has the Norwegian and roses and is yellow. And we know this house is blue. And we know the house in the middle is milk. So I kind of left this hanging, but you could have figured out something else right away. So looking at the Norwegian, he can't have orange juice because orange juice goes with lilies, and he's got the roses. So the Norwegian has the water. So water. All right. Now I'm just going to write other things that we know, other pairs. The English guy is in the red house, or English gal, can't remember. The Spaniard is with the dog. The Ukrainian is T. The Japanese is with the gardenias. We know the snails go with the geraniums. And the greenhouse goes with coffee. And then orange juice with lilies. So these are the pairs we have. And so the strategy here is you got to group these clues together to eliminate things. And so I'll show you what I mean. Because we want to get as many X's covered as we can to make the next jump in the puzzle. All right, so up here we know the water is at the yellow house, so I'm going to put that in. And okay, so we got the Norwegian, roses, the yellow house, far left, water. So he can't have snails because the snails go with the geraniums, and he's got roses. He could have the fox, we don't know. He could have the, hold on a sec. There's a clue about the horse. It says roses are grown at the house next to the house where the horse is kept. So he has roses. The horse must be at the house next to him. So horse. So obviously the Norwegian doesn't have the horse. The horse is going to be at the house left of middle. And as you can see here, that's the blue house. So the blue house goes with the horse over here. Okay. So that's good. All right, so what we were looking at here is we're saying, okay, the only two things that the Norwegian could have is the fox or the zebra. So then in the far left house where the Norwegian is, you can cross off everything with the fox and the zebra. For roses, it only can be the fox and the zebra. And then for the drink, water can only go with the fox or the zebra. And we got the roses. Roses go with water, so we can do that. The far left house is water, so we can do that. The far left house is roses, so we can do that. All right, so I think that's got the Norwegian stuff down. All right, so let's look at the blue house is the left of middle with the horse. So the blue house can't be the Spaniard because the Spaniard has the dog. And the blue house, as far as flowers, we let's see. It can't be the geraniums because that goes with snails, and we got a horse. It doesn't have, yeah, we know it doesn't have the coffee. Okay, so then, all right, let's look at the English guy in the red house a second. So we know the red house can't be the first two. We got that. The English fella. Anything about the flowers? He can't have the gardenias because that's the Japanese. He can't have tea because that's the Ukrainian. So that leaves milk or orange juice. And then for animals, snails, fox, zebra, any of those. So then looking down, can't have the horse because that's in the blue house and he's in the red house. Milk or OJ. So that's the only thing here. No gardenias. We already got that down. And then, yeah, any of the last three houses. All right, the Spaniard with the dog. So only could live in the ivory or green house. So that the ivory or green, okay, that's the left. So he can't live in left middle because he's only can live in the ivory or green, and this one's blue. Coffee was at the greenhouse, so he could do that. Milk is in the middle, could do that. OJ. Lilies are marigolds. Fine. Okay. And then over here, the other clue was the dog. So the dog, yes. The dog could have any of these flowers. The dog can't, sorry. Yes, that's right. And then as far as dog and drink, the Spaniard can't have tea or water, so the dog can't have tea or water. So you see how I'm cross-referencing these clues? So the Ukrainian is tea. So the Ukrainian could be in the blue house, could be in the ivory house. Snails, fine. Fox, horse. Could be zebra, am I right? So only geraniums or marigolds, and then could live left of middle or the rest. I think that's accurate. And then over here, looking at tea, so we just make sure it looks the same as the Ukrainian does. No roses or lilies. And he had no roses as the or gardenias, so we can cross off gardenias here for tea. And then over here, the only pet, yeah, knocked off is the dog. All right, so that's Ukrainian. Norwegian we already did. The Japanese, could be in the blue house, could be ivory or green. He's got gardenias. So he can't have snails because snails go with the geraniums. And animal we don't know. Drink, we have it down to only coffee or milk. We got the gardenias, and then the houses could be any here except the far left. Then if we go to gardenias, so that's fine. And then gardenias here, this mirrors, no red, no yellow, no dog or snails, no tea, orange juice, or water. All right, in order to get to the breakthrough, we need to eliminate all the X's. That's what we're working on. So we got the, looking at the greenhouse and coffee, we know the horse can't be with coffee because the horse is in the blue house. And we know that the horse can't be with milk because milk is in the middle house. And so that's key because we're going to look at this scenario. You got the horse can only be owned by two people, the Ukrainian or the Japanese. And the horse can only go with one of two drinks, either tea or orange juice. And so this is the logical breakthrough that you can make here. So if the horse goes with the Ukrainian, then the Ukrainian's with tea. So the horse would go Ukrainian and tea, which would work, right? Because tea is available, and so is the Ukrainian. However, if the horse went with the Japanese, right, this was between these two, because the Norwegian is out, the horse is in the house next door. The Spaniard's out because the Spaniard owns the dog. The English guy's out because he's in the red house, and the horse is in the blue house. So, if the horse was owned by the Japanese, then the Japanese guy has gardenias, And the Japanese guy, as we have marked here, cannot have orange juice because orange juice goes with lilies, right? So if the horse went with the Japanese, that means he can't. The horse can't go with tea because that's the Ukrainian. It'd have to go with orange juice, but that's a contradiction because orange juice goes with lilies and the Japanese guy goes with the gardenias. So that we can logically conclude that the horse cannot be with the Japanese because the Japanese can't be with orange juice. And that's the only other drink available to go with the horse. And the horse can't go with orange juice and the Japanese guy at the same time. So the horse is owned by the Ukrainian. So there could be other logical breakthroughs you could make similar to this. This is just the one that I came up with. So the horse is going to be with T. So here you can put in Ukrainian and you can put in T for the drink. So the Ukrainian is going to be in the blue house. I just put, yeah, the Ukrainian's in the blue house. Okay, I did that right. Horse, tea, and then flowers. The geraniums go with snails, and he's got the horse. So that means marigolds for the flower. Okay. And then he's in the left of middle house, or she. All right, and then we can see what other things this opened up for us here. So now we've got all the flowers figured out. So that was really the linchpin of the puzzle. So you had to get enough X's from cross-referencing the clues. You had to get enough X's in order for you to start making kind of logical. Sorry, it's a lot of focus. Start making logical deductions as far as, you know, we reached that contradiction with the horse and the Japanese and the orange juice or the tea. So now the puzzle's kind of pretty much wide open. So the blue house is left of middle. It's with the marigolds, we said. And with the tea. And the horse. So here we got the left of middle house is with the horse, is with tea, and is with marigolds. And marigolds is with the horse and with tea. And then tea we got, and then the horse with the blue house. Okay, so then looking down at the flowers, so the English fellows with the geraniums, and the geraniums are with the snails. So the English fella has the snails. So in the red house. So snails, geraniums, we got that. Just looking for geraniums, snails. Geraniums are going to be in the red. Snails go with geraniums. So geraniums are going to be in the red house. which puts the gardenias in the greenhouse and the lilies in the ivory house. So the lilies in the ivory house go with orange juice. So orange juice, which puts milk in the red house. So now we know that this is the English guy, and he has the geraniums, and he's in the red house, and they drink milk, and he has snails. So milk, which means the Japanese person drinks coffee and the Spaniard drinks orange juice, and the English guy's in the middle house. So then going across, red house is middle, which puts the greenhouse on the far right, and the ivory house right of middle. The red house has snails. Okay. So we figured out the Spaniard has OJ lilies, and see the Japanese coffee. So coffee's in the greenhouse, and the greenhouse is on the far right. So Japanese fella who has gardenias and the greenhouse, and he drinks coffee. And so he can either own the fox or the zebra. Remember, the puzzle's called Who Owns the Zebra? And remember, the clue said that the fox is in the house next to the marigolds. That's clue number 11. The person who grows marigolds lives in the house next to the person with the fox. So the fox can't be here because they have snails. So the fox has to be owned by the Norwegian. Fox, which means the Japanese fella owns the zebra. And so this is the Spaniard, and he's in the ivory house. So Spaniard's in the ivory house. The Japanese fella is in the greenhouse. And it's so the flower for the Spaniard is the lilies. So sorry, I mixed those up, these two. And then he drinks orange juice because orange juice went with the lilies. And then the Spaniard owns the dog. So the Spaniard's right of middle. Japanese is far right. The dog, so the dog is right of middle. The snails are in the middle. And the far right house has the zebra, which puts the far left house with the fox. And the roses go with the fox. And the zebra goes with the gardenias. And the lilies go with the dog. And the dog goes with OJ. And snails go with milk. Says no one ever. And the fox goes with water. And the zebra goes with coffee. The dog is in the ivory house. The fox is in the yellow house. The zebra's in the greenhouse. Coffee is in the far right house. OJ's in right in the middle. The geraniums are in the middle. Coffee is with the gardenias. That's what I'm trying to say. And the geraniums go with milk. And then the geraniums are in the middle house. And the lilies are in the right of middle. And the gardenias are in the far right. And there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this puzzle as much as I enjoy the puzzle. And maybe you came up with a different way, but I hate guess and check. Logic puzzles are not about guess and check. That's in a logical way to do a logic puzzle. So for me, it came down to this logic, and maybe it came down to different logic for you.